Also ich denke, now it will be, now I'll be, I'm able, I can be heard, so I'll just stay on this channel for the whole time.
Welcome to the curtain raiser and booster to our bid farewell to C19 Art Auction cum fundraiser. We will start promptly at 5:30 IST or 12 noon GMT. Before we start, I request you to kindly like, share, and subscribe to our social media handles ePratik and 9 is mine. Through the weekends of June, we had learned how to protect ourselves and our loved ones from COVID 19. We were taught in the most innovative ways by using mediums like mime, poetry, storytelling, mask making, etc. We will show some of the productions that we received so far. We were meant to screen some of our compilations of the video submissions of the child advocates who attended our weekend sessions of summer of C19. However, many of our participating schools have slipped into exam mode and have asked to time to submit their innovative productions. Let us see this wonderful clip on drumming. The assigned task was to listen to the beat of the famous We Will Rock You song sung by Queen and improvise the song to We Will Wash You.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise. Tell everyone not to be on the streets today. No mask on your face, you big disgrace. Don't take infection all over the place. We will defeat you. We will defeat you.
Even the loss of loved ones, tears in our eyes, we will have peace someday. Take vaccine today, don't be late, so we soon get back in our place. Singing, we will defeat you. We will defeat you.
Everyone up, make a big damn noise. Clapping in the streets is getting big these days. You heal every place, your heart full of grace. Kicking corona outside the place.
We will thank you. We will defeat you. We will defeat you. We will defeat you.
I like the twist of we will defeat you. I love the production of Diksha Sharma, Kritika Chaudhary, and Jawal Jamar from the Frank Anthony Public School, New Delhi. We have not been able to trace which school they are from and hope that you are here listening in and will identify yourselves on schoold at pratyek.org.in. Thank you, Nasamu Munga sir from South Africa, for teaching us this wonderful skill of music therapy. We use an interesting form of art called the scratch art to design masks and to encourage the use of the same. Remember, your homework was to use this art to design some fashionable mask with all of us advocating the Indian government slogan, "Do gaj ki duri, mask hai zaruri." Thank you, all young warriors, for your submissions. These were indeed so beautiful and elegant. You parapated these designs quickly. Thank you, Natasha Sehgal, ma'am, from St. Columbus School, for teaching us simple but fascinating art. We will now show you a sample entry based on the art of mind. The assignment was to expressively mime the 16 rules of COVID appropriate behavior as suggested by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Thank you, Davina Tamang from Loretti Convent, Darjeeling. I would like to thank Andreas Keskasser from Austria for teaching us this wonderful skill of mine. We now see how we can spread social messages by using this creative and professional art form. Some of us associate poetry with those tedious literature examinations. However, it is the poets and artists who instill in us hope as they help us recall the past, reclaim the present, and reimagine the future. As the homework suggested, it summarizes the 16 directions on COVID appropriate behavior, or CAP in short. You could also send in your self composed rap songs and limericks on CAP.
Hi everyone, I'm Neha Jain, and today I'm going to recite a self composed poetry titled Sweet 16 Against COVID 19. It's time for pledging the Sweet 16 to conquer the battle against COVID 19. It's time to adapt to the new normal, for striving in a reality which actually seems dull. Say no to physical contact and go for namaste. Keeping distance and wearing mask is the right way. Don't touch your eyes, nose, mouth, and maintain respiratory hygiene. Wash your hands, don't spit, and keep your surroundings neat and clean. Don't travel out, instead, dive deeper within. Explore new ideas and adventures while staying in. These are tough times of corona. Don't discriminate and embrace the value of karuna. Avoid crowds, be it in marketplaces, fests, or anywhere. Be safe and remember, it's time to love, heal, and care. Stop the infodemic on social media platforms. Believe in credible sources and enforce genuine norms. Seek assistance of the government helpline 1075. Take support for mental health and treasure your life. Last but not the least, get vaccinated and promise to keep all the 16 promises. These measures are the lifesavers in the unforeseen days. Thank you.
Neha Jain from Salwan Public School, Rajendra Nagar, New Delhi. This poem was really so meaningful and really well recited. Thank you, Jay sir from the Philippines, who is a poet for teaching us the skill of writing poetry. I'm sure it helped many of my young friends. Let us see what is next. We learned an interesting art called improv. I love it. Homework was to personify a face mask or a hand sanitizer or a vial of the COVID vaccine or even a travel bag and get them to speak to you and the world with their message on COVID appropriate behavior.
Na 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 na. Hey, what? I'm leaving. Goodbye. Wait, what? Oh, so you wanna know why? Cause you're not using me properly. Sorry, but when did this happen? Uh, so last time you ordered groceries, you did not sanitize the packages and you did not even use Mr. Soap. Am I right, Mr. Soap? You're right. And because of these COVID inappropriate behaviors, I would have to certainly leave this house. No way. Me too, cause it's questioning my existence. No, 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 no way. Guys, if you're gonna leave, then who's gonna protect me from the virus? I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I promise. Okay, then we'll stay. But make sure you'll sanitize every product which comes from outside and always wash your hands. I, sir, will always keep this in my mind.
Irene Ostra from Convent of Jesus and Mary School, New Delhi. I love it. Thank you. It was really engaging. Let us see what is next. For those who are there at the session on your behalf, I thank Warren sir 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They say a picture speaks a thousand words, but I never knew that a simple sheet of paper can have the same effect until I engaged with Himanshu sir, who taught us the amazing art of origami. I really thought origami was just a paper boats and paper plates. The homework post that session was to design cards and to write on them your messages of compassion, healing, and well-being to a COVID world. The extra challenge was to even get your family members and classmates to do the same. Here are some submissions.
This year has been marked with reflection and change. Some days feel good and others feel strange. We have learned to work differently and love more unconditionally.
This was a submission from Pratiksha Gautam from Don Bosco, Guwahati, Assam. The production was really entertaining and creative. Thank you, Vineva Diraso, the master maker of India, for this engaging and fascinating introduction to the world of dogs. Let us see this wonderful clip which our young dancers have choreographed. Remember, the assignment was to listen, to improvise, and create a dance sequence to the dance beat provided to us by Arthur from Netherlands. The production is meant to capture all the 16 steps of COVID appropriate behavior. Thank you, Shraddha Mahato from Kerala Public School, Gamaria, for your dance submission. Physical distance, wearing face mask is important, and we are grateful to Arthur Sir from Netherlands who taught us to use this art to proclaim the 16 challenges of COVID appropriate behavior. My best presentation of the entire summer of C19 was the puppet presentation of Rhoda and Remy. The acrobat presentation was just amazing. We were introduced to the amazing world of puppets. The homework was to create a puppet and present the 16 challenges of COVID appropriate behavior as if you were a new reader.
Hey there, this is Puppet Talks, and you're tuned in to Young Warriors Network. The COVID 19 pandemic has people across the world in jitters. Over 179 million people have been infected with the virus worldwide, including 3 million deaths. Today's top story examines a set of 16 promises we need to follow, proposed by Summer of Class 1 to 9 in collaboration with UNICEF's UA initiative. The initiative spokesperson says the third wave of COVID 19 can be prevented by following this COVID appropriate behavior. Let's get started. Number 1. Greet without physical contact. Number 2. Maintain physical distance. Number 3. Wear reusable handmade face cover or mask at all times. Number 4. Avoid touching your eyes, nose and mouth. Number 5. Maintain respiratory hygiene. Number 6. Wash hands frequently and thoroughly. Number 7. Regularly clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces. Number 8. Do not spit in the open. Number 9. Avoid unnecessary travel. Number 10. Do not discriminate against anyone. Number 11. Discourage crowd, encourage safety. Number 12. Do not circulate social media posts which carry unverified or negative informations. Number 13. Seek information on COVID-19 from credible sources. Number 14. Call National Toll-Free Helpline 1075 or state helpline numbers for any queries. 15. Seek psychological support for any stress or anxiety. And finally, number 16, encourage vaccination. Remember, humanity has gone through a lot of pandemics since its inception. But in the end, we have always come together and risen up as a stronger force and managed to beat these diseases. So, even now, all we need to do is help each other by spreading awareness about these small steps. Stay calm and don't worry, as history has shown, this too shall pass. Until next time, good night.
Bharat Pradeep of Merigiri Public School, Kerala. That was awesome and entertaining. I would also like to thank Ramo sir and Jora ma'am from Italy and Australia for teaching us puppetry. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this evening's curtain raiser and booster of our art auction fundraiser, the Bit Farewell 2C19. My name is Vishal, and I got engaged in child advocacy since the tender age of 12.
Listens
My name is
with
Manasvi and I will be your co-host for this program today. I have been part of Pratik past 8 years and have been actively advocating for child rights and gender justice in my community. I am a keynote pro-activist and just last week I addressed the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva with a special report on education. I welcome you to all the public booster of Bit Farewell 2C19, an art and photography auction organized to raise funds to feed children who have lost either or both of their parents to COVID in attempt to prevent these young ones from slipping into child marriages, child labor, and child trafficking. Before we start our program, we request all the panelists to turn on your videos and leave your mics on mute till your chance comes. And attendees may put their question in the chat box.
the child narrator has suddenly fallen ill, so we're going to have Barsha fill in for Vishal.
Before we start the program, let me inform you that we have simultaneous interpretations in Italian, German, Spanish, Mandarin, Hindi, and sign interpretation, which will be going on throughout the session. See, for the ones who are using a laptop, please find the option of interpretations below. For those who have logged in from your phone, please find the three dots below and find the option for interpreter. John and Steve Alexander, popularly known as the Alex brothers, studied in class 12 in St. Columbus School, New Delhi. Both attained grade 8 with Rock School, UK. John is in guitar and Steve in piano. Steve already holds a grade 8 certificate in piano with ABRSM. They are well known in the music world through their YouTube channel called Alex Brothers Music. They have featured in the international and Indian print media and in Delhi Doordarshan. St. Columbus School has honored John with the Ishan Bhattacharya Memorial Award and for the most talented student of the academic year 2020 to 2021. Incidentally, Ishan Bhattacharya, who succumbed to drowning, was one of our first child advocates of the Nine is Mine campaign. The same school honored Steve with the Deepa Bhatnagar Award as the most talented musician of the academic year 2019 to 20. The Alex brothers shine as songwriters, music composers, vocalists, and instrumentalists. Now I invite our young Alex brothers to sing their self-composed song entitled Fall of Coronavirus. Over to you, John and Steve.
All is the fault of coronavirus. Every time I wanna meet a friend, shaking her hand, the person to say, never mind, a friend. They say there's something wrong about the world today. Victims die, nations cry, people try, something comes close by. This is something to say, it's wrong about the world. All is the fault of coronavirus. Even children are fighting coronavirus. The world is now grounded thanks to creative fuss. People are crawling back to their houses. Why not take precautions? Why not love your lives? Why not just accept the bitter truth? Why not mask your faces? Your beauty stays the same. Just be a little more distant for a few more days. Why not take precautions? Why not love your lives? Why not just accept the bitter truth? Why not mask your faces? Your beauty stays the same. Just be a little more distant for a few just more days. Don't use the fault of coronavirus. Even children are fighting coronavirus. The world is now crowded thanks to creative fuss. People keep crawling back to their houses. And dawn is the fault of coronavirus. Even children are fighting coronavirus. The world is now crowded thanks to creative fuss. People are crawling back to their houses.
Wow, that was a wonderful song. The lyrics were so nicely put together. Thank you, Alex Brother, for composing this song in support for the Young Warrior Initiative. Now, we will have a short polling to know your source of information for our art auction. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the polling. Now we welcome Sonali Rupji Harpale from Talasari Sutkar, Lakhanpara, from Maharashtra, who is here with us to paint live. She is a professional Warli painter. Warli art is also known as the folk style of painting. It is primarily used for decoration purposes rather than purely aesthetic. We will have this live painting for the Young at Art Initiative. Sonali will simultaneously paint her traditional Warli art on the theme of children in COVID times. Throughout this program, this initiative invites artists from across the globe to paint representation of the theme children in COVID times, which we at Pratik will use to promote in our work with children. I humbly request you to please use this Google form to upload your artwork. The link is in the chat box. I now invite Varsha, our resource mobilizer, to talk about the upcoming Walk a Mile in My Shoes, which is one of the Pratik's upcoming campaigns, which we hope will be supported by the prominent brand like Puma or Nike. And before you start, I request you to tag the next person, next speaker when you are done. Over to you, Varsha.
Thank you, Manisha. Walk a Mile in My Shoes is a newly initiated online campaign of Pratik, which encourages young students of around the world to activate their bodies, meditate and still their minds, educate their hearts, all while advocating with their voice and hands for the most vulnerable children. The current focus of the campaign is to support the creation of brass child warriors and masked superheroes to prevent a potential third wave of COVID by promoting COVID appropriate behavior. Next, the campaign is based on a point system. For every point you earn, a private investor will devote 9 rupees to help us with our cause. To keep yourself updated about the same, follow us on our social media handles. We would love to have schools from around the world participating in this campaign. We are also looking for companies that can sponsor this event. I will now tag our Earth coordinator, Sunil sir. I request you to please tell us more about Summer of C19. Over to you, Sunil.
Thank you, Varsha. I will now share with you about Summer of C19. It seeks to create positive, productive, and proactive young warriors whom the 9 is Mine campaign refers to as mass superheroes. They are masked but not muted. This, we hope, would prevent a third wave of COVID, which many warn will affect children the most. Through this program, we ensured child participation and child-led advocacy through virtual creative mass trainings. Around 2,000 from 300 schools across India participated in the program. They learned the skill of using innovative and imaginative skills like mime, poetry, storytelling, mask making, etc. to become young advocates in collaboration with UNICEF's Yuva initiative. Next. We had 12 artists from different countries who taught different creative mediums. We look forward to their continued support. We are happy to share a glimpse of our work in the form of this video, and we hope it will encourage you all to be part of our varied child right friendly initiative. To stay in touch, receive updates on our programs, register at www.9ismine.in. Thank you.
Thank you, Varshadi and Sunil Bhaiya, for sharing on this program. I always look forward to your future endeavors.
Children are highly resilient about the pandemic. It has had profound effects that risk scaring many of them for life. We have seen many children dropping out from schools during these COVID times. The pandemic left thousands of children without parents. COVID-19 has also increased crimes and violence against children in India. We have some children who share their stories with us. They would share the challenges they faced during COVID and how they are coping with it.
We have with us Aditya Kani from the rural area of Kachar district of Assam and belongs to an Adivasi communities from the tea garden areas.
So can you talk about not shaking hands, something like not shaking hands?
God, lion. Our forest is being destroyed.
Last time. We will watch. So let's do that together. Those young people at Aditi and Megha.
Actually, love to thank you for the workshop. So much of music and my favorite song and the way you are.
Okay, how the coloring will be done, how the paper will be colored, we will tell you step by step. What is the next thing? Next thing that we do. Today's session we will.
I think there's many of you who can help me today. So you're gonna help me. Safety.
Yes, sir.
3, 2.
Actually, I want to help you.
Welcome all to the workshop. A lot of questions coming up from the attendees.
Understand, we're going to show these steps now. Come back to me, and we're going
Participants. All right, you've all done a little bit of origami in your own childhood. Have you all folded a plane expressive as a face? All right, these are just some of the things that I thought I should show to you, because we have a perception that origami is only about boats and planes, but it's so much more. You can do so much more with this. And one of the things which Madam also said.
This was a video that summarized our summer of 719. We will now have Aditya Kanu's video recorded.
आपको पता है कि कोरोना महामारी भारत देश में बहुत तेज़ी से फैल रहा है, जिसकी वजह से हमें बहुत सारी मुसीबतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है, जिसमें बगल लोगों की नौकरी छूट गई हैं, दुकानें बंद हो गई हैं और हम बच्चे भी अपने स्कूल पे नहीं जा पा रहे हैं। मेरे पापा जो कि हमारे विलेज के पंचायत हैं, कोविड के कारण अभी तक उनको अभी कोई भी सैलरी नहीं मिला और घर में किसी का जॉब ना होने के कारण अभी हमारे घर में कोई भी इनकम का सोर्स नहीं है, जिसके कारण हमें बहुत सारी दिक्कतों का सामना जिन बच्चों के पास फ़ोन्स नहीं है, नेटवर्क कनेक्शन नहीं है और रिचार्ज का पैसा नहीं है, तो वो उनको भी बहुत ही ज़्यादा दिक्कत हो रहा है। ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई करने के समय नेटवर्क अच्छा ना होने के कारण मुझे मेरे घर से बाहर जाना पड़ता है, नेटवर्क जहाँ पे नेटवर्क हो, तो ये भी एक मतलब बहुत चिंता का विषय है मेरे फैमिली के लिए। स्वागत है दोस्तों इस वीडियो में। मैं आदित्य आपका भाई। मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि आप अपने जो होम स्क्रीन है उसको आप कैसे रोटेट कर सकते हैं। मैं भी अपने फैमिली का फाइनेंशियल हेल्प करना चाहता था, जिसमें मेरे एक भैया ने मदद किया। उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि यूट्यूब क्या है और यूट्यूब से कैसे पैसा कमाया जाता है। मेरे पास वो सब सामान नहीं थे जो भी चाहिए थे, जैसे कि ट्राइपॉड हो गया, माइक हो गया, लैपटॉप हो गया एडिटिंग के लिए और अच्छे फ़ोन जो कि अच्छे कैमरा के लिए, तो ये सब मेरे पास नहीं था। फिर भी मैंने वीडियो बनाना स्टार्ट किया, जो कि अभी टाइम चल रहा है ऑनलाइन क्लासेस का, जो कि सब अभी मतलब काम अभी टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर डिपेंड है। तो मैंने टेक्नोलॉजी वाला वीडियो बनाना स्टार्ट किया, जिससे जो बच्चे नहीं जानते उनको भी मदद मिल सके। आपके पास साउंड आ गया होगा, आप देख सकते हैं दोस्तों। वीडियो अच्छी लगे तो लाइक करना, शेयर करना और साथ ही साथ सब्सक्राइब भी कर देना। आखिर में मैं आप सबको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि आप समय समय पर अपना हैंड सैनिटाइज करें, घर पे ही रहें। अगर कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट काम हो तभी आप अपने घर से बाहर जाए, और भी फॉर सेफ्टी और सोशल डिस्टेंस को मेंटेन करते हुए। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Aditya, for sharing your story through your video. You are an inspiration to all of us and have taught how we can keep the learning going on even during the pandemic.
Now we have Lamabam with us. He is from Manipur. Throughout this recording for Lamabam, let us listen to the challenges you faced during COVID. For those who want to listen to the interpretations in German, Spanish, Italian, Mandarin, and Hindi, please opt for the interpretations. For the ones using laptop, please find the option of interpretations below. For those who are logged in from your phone, please find the three dots below and find the other option for interpretation.
ꯒꯨꯅꯆꯥꯟ ꯀꯧꯏ ꯆꯍꯤꯅ 13 ꯁꯨꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯊꯅꯥꯎꯄꯤ ꯈꯨꯡꯒꯪꯗꯒꯤꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯆꯤꯜ ꯏꯅꯥꯎ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯏꯃꯥꯒ ꯄꯥꯔꯒ ꯃꯉꯥ ꯁꯨꯏ ꯑꯗꯨ ꯕꯕꯥꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯟꯅꯗꯤ ꯂꯂꯣꯟꯕ ꯉꯥ ꯇꯤꯛꯄ ꯆꯠꯇꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯊꯥꯛꯄꯤꯔꯝꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯕꯨ ꯀꯣꯔꯣꯅꯥꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯗꯨꯅ ꯂꯂꯣꯟꯕ ꯆꯠꯄꯁꯨ ꯀꯔꯤꯝꯇ ꯌꯥꯗ꯭ꯔꯦ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯏꯃꯨꯡ ꯑꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯊꯤꯕ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃꯗ ꯃꯥꯌꯣꯛꯅꯔꯤ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯂꯕ ꯊꯤꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯅ꯭ꯌꯨ ꯂꯥꯏꯐ ꯐꯥꯎꯟꯗꯦꯁꯟ ꯑꯃꯗꯤ 9S9ꯒꯤ ꯃꯣꯏ ꯀꯥꯡꯕꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯕꯨ ꯈꯖꯤꯛꯇꯪ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕꯁꯨ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯕꯤꯕꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯩ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯖꯩ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯀꯩꯅꯣꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯃꯥꯟꯅꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯁꯤꯡ ꯄꯨꯜꯂꯒ ꯀꯣꯔꯣꯅꯥ ꯃꯇꯝꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯥꯛꯁ ꯎꯞꯄ ꯈꯣꯠꯄ ꯈꯨꯠ ꯆꯥꯝꯕ ꯈꯣꯠꯄ ꯅꯤꯌꯣꯝ ꯅꯤꯇꯤ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯇꯥꯟꯅꯖꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯑꯁꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯇꯥꯟꯖꯥꯁꯤꯗ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯕꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯩ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯄꯦꯟꯖꯩ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯀꯌꯥ ꯑꯃꯗꯁꯨ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯈꯔꯇ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯁꯨ ꯄꯥꯡꯖꯕꯁꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯖꯩ ꯑꯁꯤꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯏꯃꯥꯅꯤ
ꯀꯣꯔꯣꯅꯥ ꯃꯅꯨꯡꯁꯤꯗ ꯊꯕꯛ ꯆꯠꯊꯣꯛ ꯆꯠꯁꯤꯟ ꯌꯥꯗꯕ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯅ ꯃꯔꯝ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯒ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯗ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯆꯥꯎꯕ ꯑꯋꯥꯕ ꯑꯃ ꯃꯥꯌꯣꯛꯅꯔꯤꯕꯁꯦ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯈꯔꯗ ꯀꯣꯛꯅꯕ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯛꯄꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯩ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯇꯨꯡ ꯇꯥꯔꯛꯄꯗꯁꯨ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯨꯝꯅ ꯋꯥꯔꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯍꯟꯅꯤꯡꯉꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯩ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯇ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤꯗꯃꯛꯇ ꯄꯤꯕꯤꯔꯛꯄ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯑꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯖꯩ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯔꯥꯎꯖꯩ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯐꯣꯡꯗꯣꯛꯆꯔꯤ
Challenges always make us stronger. Thank you, Lamamam, for sharing your story through your video. According to an article of Quartz India, it is stated that children are the heart of the fear around a possible third wave of COVID-19 in India. I invite Imadi, Senior Program Manager from Delhi office, to give us a concrete statistical report on predictions showing around the third wave of COVID. Over to you, Imadi.
Thank you, Manisha. I will be sharing not about the third wave of COVID, but about the impact of COVID on education. Okay. So in India, education of 260 million children is impacted due to the pandemic. Next. While 6 million children had to drop out of the school. Next. A study done by Pratyek and NBU, a university from West Bengal, states that 92% children acknowledge that their schools have introduced online classes, whereas according to a report by UNICEF, just 24% of Indian households have internet connections to access this e-education. Next. Though schools have introduced online classes, only 48% children actually have access to these online platforms. Next. Out of those who have the access, 75% children find it difficult to engage online or virtually with teachers, especially when it comes to clarification of doubts and problems. Next. Also, 85% children experience connectivity issues and internet recharge issues, just like what Adito shared with us. Next. To address these challenges with online learning, Pratyek so far has distributed 300 Android tablets to vulnerable children across the country. Let us now watch a short video by UNICEF on the impact of COVID on education. Thank you.
thank you, Imadi, for providing us the detailed overview. I really like this quote by John Holmes. There is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. And I'm sure Iris ma'am, our administrative manager from the Delhi office, will agree with me on this. I invite you, Iris ma'am, to show a heartfelt gratitude for all the donors who reached out to us during this COVID difficult times. Over to you, Iris ma'am.
Corona's second wave of compassion. Next. On the 20th April, when lockdown was declared, Pratik decided to face the challenge head on with zero funds in their account. Next. We decided to appeal to friends and benefactors through Keto Crowdfunder. We thank our Keto donors for their generosity. CF Enterprise, Corsair, Tikang, St. Paul's College, Anil Venkatrao, Marlon Menezes, John Anthony, Mohit Mehra. These were our principal donors, along with a number of other donors. Next. The total donation received was 2,794,586 rupees. Next. We dedicated 1,273,949 rupees to provide 1,273 children and their families associated with 40 of our NGO partners across our National Inclusive Children's Parliament with ration kits worth rupees 100 each. We have dedicated 1,517,412 rupees to the distribution of the 1.3 billion masks under the Mask Superheroes project. Next. We also distributed ration to the needy families. Next. Our Edmund Rice family, under the banner of Edmund Rice Foundation Australia, began a fundraiser for us, and we were able to gather 1,665,194 rupees for our cause. Next. The money was dedicated to COVID oxygen holding support centers in 5 locations in and near Lucknow, where 10 beds and 10 oxygen concentrators were made available to patients. Medical camps, COVID awareness sessions with both adult and children were also organized. Weekly well-being and counseling session for the children's mental well-being are conducted regularly with 120 vulnerable children from Delhi with rations, 2 rounds of rations provided to each family. The Summer of C19 program engaged over 2,000 children across India in creative weekend activities. So far, we have been able to support 7,500 families with dry ration. 2 rounds of ration were also provided to the vulnerable families associated with our Yash project. Next. So from a zero fund on the 20th of April, along with the Keto and ERFA funding, our rolling tally currently stands at 4,459,780 rupees. Thank you for your support. It is invaluable to us.
Thank you, Iris ma'am, for sharing that. Ms. Renata Lopez-Desni has served the United Nations for 30 years in Africa and Asia in many capacities, including 15 years of United Nations Resident Coordinator. Dinatari, as we at Nine is Mine Loha, also served in various capacities in the UN, in Mali, Laos, and in New York, making important contributions in the field of good governance and poverty reduction. We are sad to announce that Renati is now shifted to Canada. She has sent in this video to share a few words to the young advocates.
This past year has been exceedingly difficult for all of us, for families, children, for entire nations. COVID-19 swept across the globe like a raging forest fire. We experienced not only illness and tragic loss, but also immense socioeconomic fallouts, which hit the most vulnerable people the hardest. It's also, though, been a year in which we saw extraordinary acts of kindness and goodness by ordinary heroes from all walks of life, people helping others, sometimes entire communities and neighborhoods, during a time when even stepping out of one's own home was a hazardous risk. I'd like to highlight and express my profound appreciation and admiration for one such organization, Pratyek, and the Nine is Mine campaign. The campaign was first conceived in response to Nelson Mandela's call for ordinary citizens to act for global development, and it's since given children around the country a voice and a platform to work for equity and social justice. During the challenging second wave of the pandemic in India, Pratyek set up relief centers, ration distribution centers, child well-being centers, and distributed millions of meals and ration kits to the last mile. I'm most impressed by the way they engaged young people as champions of COVID-appropriate behaviors through such innovative campaigns like Masked Superheroes, Karuna Warriors, online summer camps, and Chalk the Talk. These efforts create both digital Corona warriors and help those who aren't digitally connected to spread COVID-related information on physical spaces in their communities. The Army of Karuna, Karuna Warriors, the Army of Kindness, built through these efforts and the strong force of child advocates that's being nurtured in communities and neighborhoods is a wonderful way to put the frontline generation in charge of helping us build a better world, the world we're trying to build after this pandemic. I wish Pratyek, Nine is Mine, and Brother Steve all the very best for their wonderful, heartfelt, and selfless work. And I wholeheartedly salute all the children advocates waging this swell of positive change for all of us on the ground. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you, Renata ma'am, for engaging with us and sharing this wonderful message. If anyone wants to donate and help the last vulnerable child, please find the Keto link in the chat box. The link in the chat box.
I invite Anmol Grace, Program Officer from Delhi office, to present the first set for the auction. Over to you, Anmol.
Welcome everyone again to our curtain raiser for Bid Farewell to C190. We started this fundraiser on the 1st of June 2021, and more than 40 artists from around the world came to donate their paintings and photographs worth higher than rupees 8 lakhs. It is estimated that if we spend 100 rupees on a child throughout the year, it will be 36,000 rupees. Thus, the artwork that will be shown right now will be worth rupees 4,765 US dollars, which is 3,54,940. This will enable us to feed 100 vulnerable children and their families for 1 year. Now I invite all of you to bid for these art pieces. Remember, one art piece can save many children from a life of child labor, child marriage, and child trafficking. Do share about this art auction fundraiser within your families and family friends and circle of influence. The link is in the chat box. Please take a copy of this. I'm over.
Come bid fair. Beware for a cause. It's still going. Don't miss the chance to help a vulnerable child get a food kit.
The Ceylon Chamber Choir, founded in 2001 by Neil Nongkungri, multi-genre choir which won the reality TV show India's Got Talent in 2010. The same year showed the choir being awarded 3 Golds Award at the 6th World Choir Games for Music Scholar, Gospel, and Popular Music. They also performed it at Rashtrapati Bhavan for visiting US President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama during their visit to India. The only truth is music.
It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walked a step behind, and I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strength. A beautiful face without a name. so long. Beautiful smile to hide the pain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course you know it. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings. 'Cause you are the wind beneath my wings.
I now welcome William Richmond, sir, the lead singer of this choir, to say a few words.
First of all, thank you for having us. I feel that this is the least we could do, is to present you that song just now. And as the words say, did you ever know that you are my hero? And many a time children don't realize that. But for us adults, it is the children that drive us to live. It is the children that drive us to become better human beings. And I feel that what this initiative is doing is absolutely magnificent. And always, let's be that wind beneath one another's wings. And we, the Shillong Chamber Choir, are happy, so happy to be a part of this bid farewell to C19 initiative. We envision children responding to your generosity. And as we sang that song, you can be the wind beneath their wings. We've lost, yes, we've lost, but we'll also much to gain. God bless each and every one of you, all the children, all of you listening, all over India, and I'm sure all over the world as well. This is the Shillong Chamber Choir, with the very little that we could do to contribute and to stir up your hearts to compassion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, William Richmond, sir. It was so wonderful to have you with us on the program. We wish you luck for your future endeavors of Shillong Chamber Choir. Works of art make rules. Rules do not make works of art. Let us go back and have a glimpse of the art piece by Sonali Rupji and give her a big shout out. I remind you all about the link which is being shared in the chat box. Our Young at Art initiative invites artists from across the globe to paint children in COVID times, which we at Pratik will use in our publications. Please copy this link and you are ready with your art theme around children in COVID times and submit it to the same link. Hey, again, the link is waiting in the chat box. For further queries, mail us on bidfarewell to c19@gmail.com. Now, I invite Praveen Bhaiya, Program Coordinator from our Mumbai office, to give us 1 minute summary of Operations Rescue. And before you start, Praveen, I request you to tag the next speaker once you're done. Over to you, Praveen.
Thank you, Varsha. Hello, everyone. I am looking after the Operations Rescue project for which the bid farewell is organized. So Pratek is supporting for 1 year ration to the children and their family who lost their loved ones and the sole earning members in their family during this COVID-19. So far, we have received 67 entries from 8 different states. Next. These are some glimpses from different states, which we have done the ration distribution work. Next. 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 So here we are requesting everyone to support us to give their precious contribution in our venture Operation Rescue. Next. This is one of our other projects, which is Operation Delhi. Here we have supported 27 NGOs and we have supported 50 families from each NGO. So far we have sustained 1,350 families individually, 1,050 individuals in Delhi. Thank you. I am complete, and now I tag our program coordinator from Delhi, Ms. Shaya.
Thank you, Praveen. Pratik, in second lockdown, began a dry ration drive. This was done with the help of 40 child rights organizations across India. We reached out to 23 states and union territories, as mentioned. Through our drive, we served more than 1,400 children and their families. As Pratik is a partner organization of UNICEF, we are also reaching out to 5 UNICEF states with 20 child rights organizations to serve more 3,500 families. We intend to reach the last and unheard child through this ration drive. We also reached children from different vulnerable groups like children with disabilities or children living in slums so that they can cope with the adverse effect of COVID-19. Thank you.
It was so nice to hear about the initiative, Chayati. So happy to hear the amount of help you offered people during these unprecedented times. We have recorded video of Shivani from Jharkhand, wherein she will be talk about the challenges she faced during this pandemic. We now have Shivani with us from Jharkhand, sharing a struggle even during the pandemic. Can we have her video?
ये हमारी दादी है। मेरी माँ घर में रहती है। मेरे पिता एक लेबर है। लॉकडाउन के कारण काम बंद है, इसलिए हमारे घर में पैसा की बहुत कमी है। हम गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में पढ़ते थे, पर लॉकडाउन में स्कूल बंद है, इसलिए मैं बहुत दुखी हूँ क्योंकि हमारा पढ़ाई नहीं हो पा रहा है। हमारे नेटवर्क इशू बहुत ज़्यादा होती है। हमारे यहाँ मोबाइल की प्रॉब्लम, हमारे यहाँ रिचार्ज की प्रॉब्लम बहुत ज़्यादा है और मैं इसलिए ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई नहीं कर पाती हूँ। मेरे पास मोबाइल है पर मेरे पापा रिचार्ज का पैसा नहीं उतना।
As children, we understand the same issue, which is being faced by everyone. Thank you, Shivani, for sharing your video. You are an inspiration to all of us and taught how we can keep learning in this difficult time. We also have Ushma with us. She's from Kashmir and will share her story with us.
मेरा नाम उस्मा है। मैं कोशिश से इसी ब्रिंजन कश्मीर से हूँ। कोविड की वजह से हमारे घर में बहुत मुश्किलात आई। मेरी बहन प्रेग्नेंट थी और उसका बच्चा पेट में ही मर गया क्योंकि हम उसको 9 महीनों में लॉकडाउन की वजह से चेकअप वगैरह नहीं कर पाए क्योंकि यहाँ से हॉस्पिटल 8 किलोमीटर दूर है। अगर वहाँ डॉक्टर होते भी मगर हम जाते किस में। हमारे घर में ना को गाड़ी है ना कोई ऐसा वसीला जिससे हम उसके बच्चे को बचा सकते।
Thank you, Ushma, for sharing your story with us. Now, I invite Vikash, Program Officer from Guwahati office, to address some more serious issues with COVID. Over to you, Vikash.
Thank you, Varsha. So this is about impact of COVID-19 on mental health of children. So children of all ages experiencing mental stress as a result of COVID-19 learning crisis. So due to closure of schools across the world, more than 1.6 billion children are affected globally. 463 million children are not able to access remote learnings due to different issues like unavailability of sources, and it brings mental stress to children and adolescents. Children are mentally worried as a result of postponement of their exams. Next. So 15% of the children and adolescent population of the world are having mental health disorder due to lack of proper mental health services. Then 50% of children like mental disorder affect children by the age of 40. And during pandemic, children, those who have pre-existing psychological disorder, they are badly impacted. Next. Okay. So according to a recent assessment by UNICEF, among children, adolescents, and young people between 13 to 19, it implies that 27% of total participants feel anxiety and 15% are depressed. And 46% are getting less motivation due to their daily activities. And 43% feel worried about their future. So now here we have a short video on how this pandemic have been impacting children's mental health. So let's watch this video. Thank you.
Mental health is inclusive to all age groups and should leave no one behind in terms of spreading awareness. With this being said, have you ever considered the effect that COVID-19 has had on children? We could say that children are unable to fully grasp the concept of their mental health and well-being, but the pandemic has taken away aspects of their life just like any other member of the community. Although there are many factors to address, children are particularly vulnerable due to their limited understanding of the current pandemic. Because of this, many of them are also unable to physically and mentally escape the harms of the situation as they have little to no coping strategies, and it is hard for them to communicate their feelings easily, unlike adults.
Thank you, Vikash, for sharing such information. What a privilege it is to be here on the planet to contribute your unique donation to mankind. Each face in the rainbow of colors that populate our world is precious and special. Lily ma'am, do you agree? I invite you, Lily ma'am, to show a heartfelt gratitude to all the donors who reached to us through during these difficult times. Over to you, Lily ma'am.
Thank I'm I'm continuing with the donation received for the Karuna second wave of compassion through the crowdfunding. Next, the principal donors are Dr. Nilesh R. Parmar, Warrior S. Skylink Children Charity. The other 114 donors contributed. Next, the donors contributed through Delhi SOS are OML Entertainment Private Limited, Raghupati Hariharan, Amrita Rendava, Devyani Singh, and 22 other donors contributed. Donations received from foreign contributions are Gaurav Arora and 6 others contributed towards. Next, this particular fund was used in collaboration with Friends of Delhi Government, SOS, towards providing oxygen concentrators, medical equipments, and distribution of dry ration to 621 families. Next. Next. The foreign contribution received from Presentation Sisters, Steve Louis Anthony, Grain Rice, one of the foundation based on Edmund Rice family, and Willie John Joseph, who is closely related to Grain Rice. And 3 other donors supported this venture. Next. This money was used to provide ration to 3,500 families through 100 NGOs who are collaborating with Pratyek through National Inclusive Children Parliament. Next. The total money received are through Mila crowdfunding 1.8 million 57,806 rupees. Delhi SOS local 9.2 million 9,500. Delhi SOS FCRA 1.9 million 654. Pratyek FCRA 3.9 million 62,010. Current COVID relief totally tallies 6.93 thousand 93 6.9 39,970. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily ma'am. If anyone wants to donate and help the last vulnerable child, please find the Keto link in the chat box.
I now invite Anmol Place, Program Officer from Delhi office, to present set 2 for the auction. Over to you, Anmol.
Thank you, Varsha. So I welcome you again to our curtain fundraiser of Bid Farewell to C119. We started this fundraiser on the 1st of June 2021, and more than 40 artists from around the world came to donate their paintings and photographs worth higher than rupees 8 lakhs. It is estimated that if we spend 100 rupees on a child throughout the year, it will be 36,000 rupees. Thus, the artwork that will be shown after this will be worth 1,620 US dollars, 1,20,672 rupees, which will enable us to feed 8 vulnerable children and their families for 1 year. I now invite you to bid for these art pieces. Remember, one art piece can save many children from a life of child labor, child marriage, and child trafficking. Do share about this art auction fundraiser with your friends, family, and circle of influence. The link is in the bio. Over.
Bid well for a cause. It's still going. Don't miss the chance to help a vulnerable child get a food kit.
After Shillong Chamber Choir, Meghalaya's Arua Choir is performing world-class arts. The Arua Junior Choir is an advanced choral music education program for children who love to sing. They have won the prestigious international a cappella competition at Llangollen, Wales, UK in July 2018. They have sung for the Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh, and for the Vice President, Mohammad Ahmed Ansari, and other dignitaries. I'm excited to see Aroha Choir sing. I need thee every hour.
I need thee every hour, most gracious Lord. No tender voice like thine can peace afford. I need thee every hour. Stay thou near by. Temptations lose their power when thou art nigh. God bless, me now, my Savior,
my Savior.
That the members of the Haroa choir can be seen in the gallery view above. We welcome you here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm Denise Sharantina Rona from the Aroha Junior Choir. So the Pratyek 9 is Mine campaign is a child rights organization for children across the globe. It is a national advocacy initiative of, for, and led by children. This campaign is a participatory children's advocacy movement in response to Nelson Mandela's call to keep the government accountable to fulfill the Sustainable Development Goals and the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. The initiative seeks 6% for education and 3% for health, now 5%, of the GDP public spending as promised by the Indian government in the year 2004. Hence, it gets the name 9 is Mine. They work with schools, child rights organizations, and international bodies across the globe. In India, one of the major issues is that children aren't aware about the rights they are entitled to. This is where Pratyek steps in. They have been creating awareness at the local, state, and national level on child and earth rights through the Children's Parliamentary Modality. Pratyek started working on the model of the Children's Parliament in the year 2013. Today, Pratyek has a vibrant network of over 100 neighborhood children's parliament with a network of over 1,000 child rights organizations and schools across India. It also has one federated national inclusive children's parliament. We, the Aroha Junior Choir, are privileged under the spiritual and musical mentorship of Mrs. Pauline Wajari. We are immensely grateful and blessed to be able to reach out to our brothers and sisters who have lost their parents due to COVID-19. With deep love, we sincerely hope that our song, I Need Thee Every Hour, soothes and heals the broken hearts. We hope and pray that we will be able to connect to some of these children through Pratyek and form lasting bonds of mutual learning and sharing. As young people, we endorse Pratyek's mission and vision and would like to take our partnership further and use music for advocating the rights of children. As a part of the Walk in My Shoes campaign, I request everyone present here today to walk a mile in the shoes of the vulnerable children. Thank you.
Denise, it was so nice to hear from you, and we wish Aroha Choir all the best for your unique mission. Works of art makes rules. Rules do not make works of art. Let us go back and give a glimpse of the art piece by Sonali Rupji and give a huge shout out. I remind you all about the link which is being shared in the chat box. Our Young Art at Heart initiative, which invites artists from across the globe to paint children in COVID times, which we at Pratyek will use in our publications. Please copy this link, and when you are ready with your art themed around children in COVID times, and submit it to the same link. Here again, the link is waiting in the chat box. For further queries, mail us on bidfarewell to c19@gmail.com.
Now I invite Ankit Bhaiya, intern at Delhi office, to give us 1-minute summary of SO2S. Over to you, Ankit Bhaiya.
Thank you, Manisha. In the beginning of the second lockdown in Delhi, in month of April, Pratyek started receiving individual calls from people to organize oxygen cylinder for people who were suffering from COVID-19. Thus, here we took a call to help the needy. We were able to accomplish this with the support of Delhi SOS team, the Friends of Delhi government. Next, a total number of 450 plus people were given oxygen cylinders, oxygen concentrator, and oxygen bed facilities in Delhi hospitals. Next, as the number of cases reduced in Delhi, we at Protect and SOS team, the Friends of Delhi government, together started distributing of ration kits to help vulnerable families, as a majority of these people were unemployed and in the desperate need of ration. A total of 1,750 ration kits were distributed for free across Delhi. Delhi through the Delhi through the support of SOS team, we distributed ration kits. Next, our ration kits were designed to cater the health and hygiene needs. Next, each ration kit accommodated a family of 5 for 10 days. The kit was worth 1,000 rupees. Several vulnerable groups were supported by Delhi SST and Pratek's initiative. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Yogita Di, a program coordinator for Yash. Over to you, Yogita. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit. Due to some technical issues, we do not have Yogita with us. So, on her behalf, I am presenting her share of information. Good evening, everyone. I will be presenting in front of you about a group called YASH, which is Young Advocates for Social Harmony, a group of children from local slum communities. In Pratyek, we have two groups, which is YASH and Jashwa. YASH mainly focuses on children's advocacy under the program called Yash Children's Harmony. Under this program, every child from our local slum area who are part of Yash have their parliament sessions where they discuss work on identifying best possible solutions. Till now, they have stopped numerous child marriages, child labor, and work on water and sanitation conservation. We also provide online tuition classes to children from class 8 to 12 and also give tuitions to NIOS students who have dropped out of classes. We also have a group called Pratyek, which comprises of ex-students of Yash. They teach spoken English to our Yash children. This year, more than 150 children participated in our online open summer campaign, where they participated in multiple activities like corona and environment-related dance, digital art, painting, well-being session, art and craft, cooking without fire, theatre, and movie sessions on child rights. Our children are part of national and international programs like Provisional World Children's Parliament, National Inclusive Children's Parliament, Delhi Inclusive Children's Parliament, and Acha Mama GCI course. Our course, which is a game changer intensive, and it is related to environmental and social justice awareness among all members of the society. Children have conducted awareness programs in their community through pad distribution, ration distribution, and mass distribution in COVID times. Children have also on a large scale have spoken on trafficking, sexual exploitation of children for the 46th UN statement. Jashan, which is short form of Junior Advocates for Social Harmony and Nation, it comprises of children from 1st to class 7. We provide them with basic maths and spoken English classes in collaboration with Convent of Jesus and Mary Schools, New Delhi. We also conduct online summer camps for children. I'm further presenting some of the images related to the Yash work. Thank you.
It was so nice to hear about the Yash program, Yogita. By now, you all know our co-host for the day. But let us listen to the struggle she faced during her COVID times. That was the video of our Yash program. Thank you, Violet. By now, you all know our co-host for the day. But let us listen to the struggle she faced during the COVID times. Please show Manisha's video. Section 66. Video 1. We are facing some technical issues. Apologies for that. We'll come back to Manisha. Moving on. Now I invite Raksha, Program Officer from Mumbai office, to address some more serious COVID-related issues generating around us, which are specific to children. Over to you, Raksha.
Yeah, thank you, Varsha. Uh, so I will be sharing the UNICEF COVID report on children engaged in child labor. As you all know, children are vulnerable group of the society. In children in child labor are at the risk of physical and mental harm. It compromises children's education, restrict their rights, and limiting their future. According to Census 2011, 4% of total children child population work as a main worker or marginalized worker. 8.4 million children are at more risk due to impact of COVID-19, and 9% of children are at the risk to be pushed in child labor by 2022 as a result of pandemic. Next, addition to this COVID-19 pandemic, there is an economic loss and many have lost their jobs and income sources. And as a result of this, children are forced in child labor in different sectors, such as in agriculture sector, there are 112 million children, a million of children working in child labor. In service sector, there are 31.4 million children, and in industrial sector, there are 16.5 million children. They were very shocking figures for all of us. And as you can see, this have impacted children at worst. Now we will see a video based on child labor. Next.
An estimated 152 million children are being put to work around the world.
The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has told DW that children are paying the largest price in this pandemic. Director for Education and Skills, Andreas Schleicher, praises the countries that have managed to keep schools open.
We need to be aware of the high social costs that school closures have for children. And that's why, I value countries, like France and Italy and to some extent even Spain that, despite very difficult pandemic contexts have given education absolute priority.
India allowed schools to reopen in October, but some children will only head back now due to a staggered resumption of classes. Many children in India's villages may not return at all. We travelled to Uttar Pradesh.
Asad Rahman started apprenticing 6 weeks ago at this furniture shop in a village in Uttar Pradesh. The shy 12-year-old has been half-heartedly listening to instructions. He's clearly not enjoying it.
I want to go back to school, meet my friends. I don't want to work here.
But he doesn't really have an option. Nor does his younger brother Asjad, who joined him here a few days ago. Both are following their father's instructions. Abdur Rahman is out of work himself. With schools closed for nearly a year now due to the coronavirus, he has given up hope their education will secure them work. Rahman says he's only looking out for their future.
Schools have been closed. They were studying, but they aren't doing anything now. We've asked them to work out of desperation so that they can learn something, hopefully a livelihood. If schools reopen and they leave work, we'll lose out. If they stay, it helps us survive. There's no advantage in going to school now.
Thank you, Raksha, for providing us a better understanding of the upcoming danger. Every donation does make a difference, and I'm sure Anisha, our program coordinator in internationality, will agree with me on this. I invite you to share a heartfelt gratitude for all the donors who reached out to us during the difficult times. Over to you, Anisha.
Thank you, Varsha. On this special occasion, I would like to take out some time and thank our generous donors. It is through your constant support that we were able to continue our dream of reaching the most marginalized during these uncertain COVID times. Next. I would like to mention and thank a few donors here today, David E. Giles, Paul Little, and the other donors for their contributions. Next. Through our fundraiser in Give India, we were able to generate 235,000 rupees, which has been directly used to provide ration to children and families of our network. We were able to give rations to 253 children and their families that would last them for 10 days. Next. For our corona relief, we were able to generate many donations in kind. The items collected were distributed in camps of 6 states, namely, next, Delhi, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Mizoram, Manipur, UP. I would also like to thank those donors who have helped us through kind. I would like to thank Australian Khalsa Aid, Presentation Society of India, Congregation of Christian Brothers in India, Association of Chinese Women, Agarsha, Womenite, All India Association of Chinese Students and Scholars, Hula Globe. Next, Bablu Bhaiya, Black Rose Industries, Clever Hawk Branding, COVID Shield, board members, Delhi SOS, Sama, and Caritas India for their support in getting medicines and medical equipment for the underprivileged. Next, total worth donation was in kind was worth 19 million. Next, I would also like to announce the Summer of C19 winners now. We have completed 12 sessions of our Summer of C19, where we had 12 global artists conducting workshops for our young citizens. On the basis of the Google form that was filled, some children were regular in attending all the sessions. In the first week, we had 55 regular participants, followed by 26 participants, followed by 54 and 44 in the last week. You will all be receiving your certificates soon. Next. We also had some children who were regular for all the 12 sessions. They are Purva Shreya, Himani, Ahana, Anamya, Khushi Bansal, Abhishek Pal, Bhavya, Ritika, Minakshi Malik, Priyanshi. And we had also said that there would be a lucky draw for the child who has attended all 12 sessions. So today we will also announce a lucky draw. But before that, I would like to invite one of the person here. So I'll call Miss Grace David to please unmute yourself and pick a number from 1 to 10. Miss Grace
Thank you,
David?
Anisha. Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me, Anisha?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so first of all, my congratulations to all the 10 of these participants who were regular and attended all the programs. Now you've given me a difficult task to pick up one number. So I'm taking a number randomly, though I have a logic which I'll explain later. I'm picking up number 5 for the winner, though I don't know who it is.
Thank you, Miss Grace. So can we have the winner slide, please? So the number 5, I cannot see it.
Looks like Parvesh something. No,
Purvashreya?
I can't.
It's not Purvashreya. Is it? Yes, so that is Purvashreya. So
Purvashreya.
Purvashreya is our lucky winner for attending all the 12 sessions. The rest of you will receive your certificates, but Purvashreya, you will be awarded a trophy for attending all the sessions in summer of C19. Thank you for your active participation during the sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, Anisha, for sharing that. Anjali is a socialpreneur, is a serialpreneur, and co-executive director of Business Network International Delhi South, an international business networking franchise. She is an avid road traveler. We welcome you, Mrs. Anjali, from BNI to share a few words with us.
Thank you so much. Greetings and good evening. It's my pleasure to be representing BNI Delhi South at this prestigious event. We are a business networking organization that helps both entrepreneurs and NGOs like Pratyek network across all domains. I am so happy to note that Pratyek is living up to our organization's core philosophy of givers gain by helping orphaned and needy children to live a dignified life. We at BNI help by NGOs like Steve Rocha's Pratyek, helped all the victims tide over difficult times during the pandemic. We are grateful to have and support NGOs in all our BNI 12 chapters and would like to extend the necessary help to whatever extent possible. All the very best from BNI. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali ma'am, for being here with us today. If anyone wants to donate and help the last vulnerable child, please find the Kettle link in the chat box.
I invite Anmol Grace, Program Officer from Delhi office, to present set 3 of the auction. Over to you, Anmol.
Thank you again, Varsha. And thank you to all of you who are present here with us for our curtain fundraiser for Bid Farewell to C19. We started this fundraiser on the 1st of June 2021, and more than 40 artists from all around the world came to donate their paintings and photographs worth higher than 8 lakh rupees. It is estimated that if we spend 100 rupees on a child throughout the year, it will be 36,000 rupees. Thus, the artwork that will be showcased after this is worth rupees 3,930 US dollars and 2 lakhs 92,755, which will enable us to feed 8 vulnerable children and their families for 1 year. I invite you to bid for these art pieces. Remember, one art piece can save many children from a life of child labor, child marriage, and child trafficking. Do share about this with your friends, family, and within your circle. The link is in the chat box.
watching. Boing! 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 Come bid fair. Bid well for a cause. It's still going. Don't miss the chance to help a vulnerable child get a food kit.
Now, without further ado, I will introduce you to one of our favorite bands, Parikrama. Parikrama from Delhi is a rock and roll band officially formed on 17 June 1991. They also have several live performances and original numbers to their names. In its 2014 listing of 25 greatest Indian rock songs of the last 25 years, Rolling Stone India featured But It Rained. 1996 by the band, they are still very active and recently on 8 October 2020, they relaunched their 2001 single But It Rained. Friends, I can't wait to watch them performing. Dear band members, the stage is all yours.
Thought I'd risen from my slumber as I fathom the spell I'm under. Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Trapped in circles all around me. Close my eyes, voices surround me. Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Living hopeful, golden signs, in no prayer from my mind. Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Thank you.
So Baser, one of the Parikrama members, the Ball of Justice. I would like to wish him a very, very happy birthday. So thank you for all your support to your campaign and to also children of India. Sir was to be here with us, but due to some medical issues, emergency, he is not here with us.
Works of art make rules. Rules do not make works of art. Let us go back and have a glimpse of the art piece by Sonali Rupji Hartley and give her a huge shout out. That was so stunning. I am amazed to see this art piece, and I think I wish to learn more about Varli painting. I again make the appeal of spreading the word about Young at Art initiative within your circle of influence. This initiative invites artists from across the globe to paint children in COVID times, and which we at Pratik will use in our publications. I humbly request you to please use this Google link to upload your artwork. You know where to find the link. Hurry and copy the link from the chat box. I now invite Violet, Advocacy Program Coordinator from our Delhi office, to give us a minute summary of our foreseeable future project. Over to you, Violet.
Thank you, Varsha. So, our foreseeable future is a 2-year project which we will be running with UNICEF India and Einstein. This project will be implemented in 5 states, in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Jharkhand, and West Bengal. Next. Child rights, COVID-19 learning, and child protection will be looked through the lens of COVID-19, and we will be reviewing the experiences and struggles of children through them. Next. Through the inputs from children, we will be working towards creating a shadow report on children reviewing child rights in India, which will be followed by a UPR shadow report, environmental reports, which will feed into COP26 and a process manual of UNCRC. Towards the next year, we will be focusing on national and state policies for children as a shadow report as well. Next. Further, children will be interacting with multiple stakeholders on the experiences and challenges of children through these reports. For example, Budget for Children will be engaging with Ministry of Finance, Learning in COVID Time, UNCRC, National Policy and State Policy for Children. We will be engaging with Ministry and the Department of Women and Child Development. For Universal Periodic Review, we will be engaging with multiple stakeholders like Ministry of External Affairs, UN agencies, embassies. And for climate change, we will be engaging the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. I am complete. I now tag Riddhi, Assistant Program Manager from our Guwahati office. But due to some challenges, she is not able to come to this session. I invite Ima on her behalf to share the information with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Violet. Okay. Hello again, everyone. I will now share our project Chalk the Talk with you all. Chalk the Talk is an activity. Next, please. Slide. Chalk the Talk is an activity where children are engaging to spread awareness on healthy practices during COVID-19, like promoting vaccination by encouraging adults to get vaccinated, importance of physical distancing, sanitization, and wearing masks. This activity is being done by children using chalk or brick or any other natural color available at home to write on empty parts, walls, and floor, etc. Next. They can either draw or write slogan or a message to promote healthy behavior during COVID. Next. Their work will also be used for social media advocacy. With this, we intend to create a strong force of child advocates in communities and neighborhoods. Next. With the aim to combat COVID-19 in India, a campaign named Masked Superheroes is being undertaken by Pratyek, where 1.5 million N95 masks will be distributed to teenagers to protect themselves from COVID. We are expecting to reach over 2 lakh children with the help of the wide network we have across the country. Next. We have our intervention in all the states and union territories, which are divided into 7 zones. For this activity, we will engage with 70 organizations, that is 10 NGOs in each zone, and they will further reach out to 30 organizations, each from their networks. That is 2,100 organizations in total will be engaged with this project. Each organization will bring on board 100 teenagers for this exercise, thereby making our mass distribution outreach over 2 lakhs. Awareness training on proper usage of masks will also be provided to these teenagers. Thank you, and over to you, Manisha.
It was so nice to hear about this fun yet informative program, Imati.
As the demand for face masks drops in our area, a mask distributor from Delaware is sending thousands to places that still need them. MyDesignerGear.com is packing up boxes of masks and sending them free of charge to places still struggling with the virus in the U.S. and abroad. The company from Newport, Newcastle County says it's happy to help.
Yeah, we have all of these masks on hand that we don't necessarily need and aren't as in high demand. And so we're sending them to 10 different charities across the U.S. and a lot of them to India to help there.
MyDesignerGear.com offers kids the chance to design their own masks online. The company then sends them the finished product in the mail. Pretty cool.
By now, you all know our co-host for the day, but let us listen to her struggle during this COVID times.
Our living condition is very bad. So living in a slum is a very bad condition. A different matter is COVID or not. This is my home where we live. So we have a small kitchen and we have 2 rooms in our. We have 5 brothers and sisters and mother and father. So we have almost 10 here living here in 2 houses. Here is my all the creative things I have been doing. And this is the wall painting I did. Let me show you in a community where thousands of people are living in this earth and without any precautions because they are not being able to follow the appropriate behavior of COVID. We have that much personal washrooms or facility that we can follow. We just have 2 public washrooms for men and women. We all have just one public tap to use it. So social distance, these all things are just mere dream for all of us to follow. Children are not being able to play outside and when their study is getting affected by this, they don't have proper smartphone. Even I don't have proper smart to study. These times children are facing lots of mental pressures as I am in 12th standard. I have not given my board yet. I am mentally pressured that how will my exam will be taken, how will I give my exam, will I be able to get good marks, will I be able to get in a good college, will I able to get the admission? I don't know. I don't have any idea. Even I have 5 brothers and sisters. What will their future in their studies? So children are facing this mental condition, family pressure, and even many people are sleeping without a meal. I feel children needs to cope up with this by making themselves that yes, you have the situation you want, you have to go through it, you have to study hard for your future. We ask children to not come out of their house for any reason. We have tell them the helpline numbers they can use, and we ask them to wash their hands properly, and we have given them some soaps that they can use. I ask every child to be at home, be safe, and wear your mask properly, sanitize your hand, wash your hands properly, and be safe.
Thank you for sharing your story with us, Manisha. You are an inspiration to all of us, and we thought how we can keep the learnings going on even during the pandemic. Like Manisha, all the other videos where the participants, where the champions are from our 9 is Mine campaign.
मेरा नाम है सना, हम क्लास 5 में पढ़ती। ये मेरा छोटी बहन है शमा फातिमा, ये क्लास 2 में पढ़ती। मेरा पापा का नाम है अब्दुल गफूर है। मेरा मम्मी का नाम संगीता देवी था। हम अंडमान के कृष्णाबाद गांव में रहते हैं। मम्मी को गवर्नमेंट जॉब था। हम बहुत खुश थे। मम्मी को फीवर आया, पापा मम्मी को कृष्णाबाद गांव का हॉस्पिटल लेके गया पास में। 2 दिन बाद मम्मी को चिरूपन रेफर करा, वहाँ में इलाज नहीं मिला ठीक से, इसलिए मम्मी डेथ हो गई।
I really appreciate the courage Sama and Sana showed and were able to share this story with us. Now I invite Amy, who is a dedicated volunteer at Delhi office, to address some more issues raised during the pandemic. Over to you, Amy.
In India, 50 million out of 700 million males are disabled. 11 million out of 650 million women are disabled. Next. According to Census 2021, children with disability are more than 1.7% of 7.8 million of total child population. The 3 major types of disability are movement, 20.3%, seeing, 18.8%, and hearing, 18.9%. The rest are speech, mental retardation, mental illness, multiple disabilities, and others. Next. Only 61% of the disabled children aged from 5 to 19 years old are getting an education, while 12% had attended earlier and 27% never went to school. Practice in the spirit of inclusion, leaving no one behind, always encourage child participation, also those with special needs. In 2017, during the session of pre-universal periodic review of UN in Geneva, a child with visually impaired and another child with hearing and speech impaired lead the delegation of the night Ismail. Besides, we have incorporated disability-friendly method in all our meetings and webinars. Even during the COVID time, we ensure that families with children with disability get ration support. Now let us watch a short video about the effect of COVID time to these children who has special needs.
Under COVID-19, children everywhere are at risk. But what about children with disabilities? Those children are at an even higher risk. Many live in places without adequate access to water, soap, and hand-washing facilities, or in crowded institutions where physical distancing is impossible. So much of the information about how to protect themselves from infection is not in a format they can understand, like sign language, easy read, or braille. But COVID-19 is not the only threat facing them. Boys and girls with disabilities are often already out of school. With schools being shut down, they'll fall even further behind. They're also at heightened risk of violence, abuse, and neglect as families and households are locked down. UNICEF's work to support children with disabilities has never been so important. From working with communities to make facilities more accessible, to helping schools develop innovative learning tools and approaches that meet the needs of children with disabilities, including through technology, to investing in counseling and support for children and adolescents with disabilities and their families living through humanitarian emergencies like conflicts. As COVID-19 makes their lives even more challenging, we must come together to invest in the needs of all children. UNICEF fully supports the Secretary General's call for a COVID-19 response that puts the needs of these children front and center. Children with disabilities have the same right to health, education, and protection that every child has. Let's work together to ensure that the global recovery from COVID-19 includes investments that make these rights real. Let's listen to the needs of children with disabilities and design programs and services around these needs. Let's imagine post-COVID world in which every child with or without disability gets the love, support, and opportunities they need to fulfill their potential.
Thank you, Aileen, for reminding us about the perspective of inclusion. Now, I would like to invite Rohit from our finance department at Delhi office to continue the financial report. Over to you, Rohit.
Thank you, Varsha. Good evening, everyone. I, Rohit, will continue Corona second wave of compassion fundraising report. Next. I would like to thank Setu Foundation, whom we got in touch with through the amazing BNI network for their support to Pratik and 10 other donors. Next. The fund was dedicated to distributing 25 oxygen concentrator and setup of Kobe Hill Isolation Center in Gurgaon. Next. These are some photographs of Kobe Hill Isolation Center in Gurgaon. Next. Where lots of people were benefited through this isolation center. Next. I would also like to thank our local donors for their support to Prithvi. Some principal donors are Ajay Ghosh, David Cardos, Rohan Dilip Joshi, Holy Family Charitable Trust, Father Joe Manar, and other donors. Next. The fund was dedicated towards the ration for 358 families in Delhi. The total fund received from Setu 3,974,590 rupees, and B for Humanity 81,870 only, and from our local donors 350,500 only. Once again,
Thank you so much, Rohit Bhaiya. I remind you all that the link which is being shared in the chat box are Young Art Initiative, which invites artists from across the globe to paint children in the COVID times, which we at Pratik will use in our publications. Please copy the link, and when you are ready with your art theme around children in the COVID times, and submit it on the same link. Hey, again, link is waiting in the chat box. For further queries, email us on quitfarewell2c19@gmail.com. If anyone wants to donate and help the last vulnerable child, please find a Keto link in the chat box.
I invite Anmol Grace, Program Officer from Delhi office, to present Setco for the auction. Over to you, Anmol.
Thank you again, Vasha. So I'm here again to remind you about our art fundraiser. So we started this fundraiser on the 1st of June 2021, and more than 40 artists from around the world came to donate their paintings and photographs worth higher than rupees 8 lakhs. It is estimated that if we spend 100 rupees on a child throughout the year, it will be 36,000 rupees. Thus, the artwork that will be showcased in set 4 is worth rupees 670 US dollars, which is 50,000 rupees, which will enable us to feed two vulnerable children and their families for at least 10 months. I invite you again to bid for these art pieces. Remember, one art piece can save children from a life of child labor, child marriage, and child trafficking. Do share this art about this art auction fundraiser within your circles, and the link is in the chat box. Thank you.
Oh, that's H1. We are starting video.
wants to help a vulnerable child get a food kit.
You are definitely keeping up my energy. Thank you again, Aravi, for the reminder. Let's get ready to hear our generous and talented brothers forever. The choir consisting of Christian brothers. I invite each one of you to calm yourself and join the Sabbath prayer, which is a prayer for those reaching out, those most in need at this time. I request all of you to go to the gallery view. And all the brothers, please put on your videos, but mic on mute.
May the Lord protect and defend you. May He always shield you from shame. May you come to be among us a shining name. May you be both strong and constant. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from the stranger's way. May God bless you and grant you long life. May the Lord fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you. May God take you to pastures that may He send you shepherds who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. Protect and defend. May the Lord preserve you from shame. Preserve you from shame. And favor them with happiness. So hear our Sabbath prayer.
And finally, Steve, this goes from all of us here, from all the brothers forever, the Christian brothers and the ex-brothers and everyone here. May I request everyone, all the ones who are able to join me, please, to unmute yourselves. And Steve, we'd like to wish you today, not just a happy birthday, but to wish you for everything you continue to mean to us. Very often in this pandemic, I'm sure like the rest of us over here, we've all wanted to do something. We've wanted to make a difference. And yet there's always been a, what if I contract it? Or maybe somebody else will do it. And while we've been thinking this, you've been at the forefront, not only making a difference, but also encouraging others to make a difference. And so, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steve.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday, Steve. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a ton. Wow, that was really special. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Thank you. What was that? Thank you very much. So now this, since you've given me the stage, I've been asked to stop.
That was indeed wonderful, brothers. Now I invite Mr. Bennett Pinto, the president of Pratik, to say a few words.
So Mr. Bennett had tried to be here with all of us. He had tried several times to log in. He is somewhere in Himachal and there was no electricity today over there for the entire day. So he sent his sincere apologies, Brother Steve, that he is not here. Brother Steve is no more a brother, but we love to call him Brother Steve because that is what we are calling him for years now. And that is our relationship with him. So he is a brother to us in every way. So I'm reading out Mr. Bennett, our president, his message. Dear Steve, you've been a silvery shining inspiration to all those lives you've touched in the first 50 years of your life, mine included. As you enter the golden era of your life, may the selfless work that you have devoted yourself to, sacrificing multiple comforts in pursuit of God's call, be a constant source of fury, golden strains that will inspire many, many more to join hands for the noble causes that you espouse. May God grant you good health, committed strength, loads of energy, and a host of devoted followers as you strive with your projects in this golden years of your life. Have the most memorable birthday of your life and golden years ahead. Love and God bless. Das, Kara, Craig, Promila, and Bennett Pinto, President Pratik. 1,000 apologies for his absence despite his commitment today. Thank you.
Vanishadi and Benefito, such warm wishes. Now I invite Steve to pay his tributes by giving the vote of thanks. I still love to call him brother, and that is how I've been addressing him from a long time. Unmute yourself, brother Steve, because the stage is yours.
So thank you very, very much. And that special song at the end was absolutely special to me. I've been hearing it for the last 34 years, and it was nice to have it sung again today by people who've been part of my 34 years journey with the brothers. And yes, like the young people who expressed that they still see me as a brother, like the other brothers who were Christian brothers earlier, would always sense that we've always remained brothers at heart and Edmund Rice people. So I'm very grateful to first the Christian brothers who have formed me over the last 34 years. May I have the PowerPoint, please? I begin with a vote of thanks to the children who have performed today from across India and who have actually shared their stories. Melroy, may I have the slides, please? Oh, please go back from gallery view to speaker view, please. Thanks, Melroy. Sorry for that. So Pratik is devoted to children, for every child, for every right, for everyone. And we're glad that we had voices from Assam, Mumbai, Jharkhand, Delhi, Manipur, Andaman, and Kashmir. Thanks to UNICEF for organizing that, and a special thanks to Amrita Singh and the Yuva team. Thanks to all the musicians who were part of the performances and for sharing with us your musical talents. Shillong Chamber, Aroa Choir, Alex Brothers, and the Parikrama. Thanks to the interpreters, all the interpreters from across the world for giving this a global flavor. And thank you for being with us right through this almost 2-hour, 20-minute program. Sorry for being so long. We were just trying to struggle with all the technical glitches, but thank you very much for being with us throughout these 2.5 hours. Thanks to, next slide, please. Thanks to our chief speakers, Renata, who's now presently in Canada, but before you left, you ensured that this video came to us, and thank you for all the kind words you said to us. Thanks also to Anjali Chowdhury, the executive director of the BNI family, for being with us this evening. And the BNI family was really instrumental in getting us lots of fun. So thank you very much for that. I would encourage people here who have businesses to join this network that believes in the giver's gain. Thanks to the Varli artist who has been drawing silently and quietly in the background. If you can actually look to the panel above, you may see her with her hand raised as the first slide, or she not there at the moment. But thank you very much, Sonali, Rupchi, Harpale, for joining us throughout and bringing the voice through art of the most vulnerable communities of India. Thanks to all the artists and photographers who have donated their art to us. And we invite you to also join in the Young at Art activity of getting people to express your experience of children during these COVID times. I hope the bidders are listening in and sending in your bids at the recommended link. Also, those who wish to just make a contribution to the rescue operations, please go to our Keto link, which we shared in the chat box. We've had a summer of C19 just concluded, and thanks to all the 3,000 young advocates who participated in that from 300 schools. Thanks to all those principals and coordinators who help us out. A special invite to all principals and teachers present here to please get your schools on board with our campaign. We really want to change it from a campaign to a movement that recognizes children as active members of today and participants of evolving a world that's fit for all children, a world fit for all. Next, please. Thanks to all our anchors. We wish Manisha, Ram, and Vishal, who was earlier to do this particular anchoring. But thanks, Varsha, for filling in for Vishal. These young people were also part of the Greenathon session, and we've really seen how these young people have grown from a non-English speaking background to today having the courage and the confidence to address people from across the world. Thanks to Devika, next please, our young, a former Niners Mine advocate who now is gone into law and was the official ideator and conceptualizer of this entire program. Thanks, Devika, for all your hard work into making this possible. This bid farewell to C19 would not have been possible without your wild idea one summer morning about holding this auction. Thank you very much. Next, please. Thanks to all the e-relief camp team. And I'm going to name them. It's Soran, Jeevan, Ankit, Rahul, Vishal, Moj, Ayush, Neha, Ramesh, and Lily, who spent 2 months from the comforts of their house in just one hall that was their bedroom, their storeroom, their office, their change room. For just 2 whole months, they just gave away the comforts of their home to be responding to the needs of people in the middle of the night, running with oxygen concentrators across the city. I'm really grateful for them for making this possible. Next, please. The E-team, particularly Anmol, Grace, and Anisha George, who really made this particular episode of our work possible. A big shout out to the 2 of them. They've worked long hours, and I'm really grateful for them for putting this together. Thanks to, next please, the communications team here at Pratik. So again, mentioning Jeevan, Rahul, Kunal, Madhav, who is Devika's brother, who has actually been helping us from home at these times, and Anisha and Anmol for guiding them. Next, please. Thanks to the e-support team. I remember Brother Philip Pinto, a former Christian brother, a superior general or congregation leader, whispering in my ear when I left Chandigarh with the team, said, "This is your new family. This is your new community. Look after them, nurture them in the spirit of Edmund." I'm really grateful that all of you have imbibed the spirit and have taken up challenges like simplicity of lifestyle. And all of us actually are in a hot box right now, in the middle of summer, struggling with the heat of summer and saying, we want to stand in solidarity with the poor who do not have air conditioners. And thank you for joining this courageously these challenges to identify with the most vulnerable of the earth and the earth itself. Next, please. Thanks to Ramesh Bhaiya. We hardly feature him in our presentations, but without all the washing of dishes and cleaning up of the stores and all the work around us, this program would not be possible. And Ramesh, we want to assure you that your hard work is recognized and we believe that we would not be able to have Pratik without you. Next, please. Thanks to our governance leadership team. You heard Bennett right now, the words of Bennett, who's our president, Byron, who's our treasurer, Brother Augustin Jairaj, who's our vice president, Brother David Ryan Silver, Brother Edwin D'Souza, Brother Samir Farao, and Vandana Bedi, who are members. Thank you for your guidance and your support. And also to Lyle Lopez, Yogesh Sachdeva, and Mohit, who have been with us in the preparation for the COVID centers we were designing earlier. Your advice and support was invaluable. Thanks also for the advice of Jitender and Gloria. Next, please. I want to make a special mention of Sandeep Narvani and Narendra Kaur. Sandeep Narvani here, who is from Mumbai, a Bandra boy, as he loves to be known, for supporting us with all the concentrated drives that we had, in which we dished out about hundreds of concentrators across the country, thanks to Sandeep's coordination, and Narendra Kaur, who single-handedly looked after the Lucknow operations. Thank you very much. Next, please. Thanks to Streamy Occasions experts and WOW experts for really providing this particular version of an online event to us free of cost, and really struggling with us in understanding this particular medium and coordinating it. Yes, we had glitches, but most of them are primarily because we were trying to understand it as non-technical people. So thank you for bearing with us. And despite your other schedule and other programs this week, you were with us. And we really like to thank Deepak Pawar, Sachin Talwar, Ruchin Kohli, Melroy Alfonso, and the team for really providing us with this wonderful platform to amplify our voice. Next. Thanks to Caritas India, Father Jolly, Father Paul, and Neeraj for supporting us. Next, please. The Archdiocese of Delhi, next, please. Under the guidance of Archbishop Anil Kuto, Father Ajit Nu, and the Conference of Religious India under the guidance of Father Joe Manath. Next, please. I cannot end this without thanking Father Lawrence, who provided us the DCC hall free of charge for the whole 2 months and never once breathed down our necks. He was just so liberal and so free with us and believed in our cause. Thank you, Father Lawrence. I remember the last time you were with us distributing rations. Thanks to Father Rohan, who helped us with the user Sadan in the middle when we were thinking of converting the hall into a COVID center. Thanks to Father Joe Manath and Father Maria Charles from the education desk of the CCBI. Next, please. We are in the campus of the St. Peter's Jacobite Syrian Orthodox Cathedral community, who have given us their topmost floor above the church, a very, very sacred space to have our Pratik office that believes in presence. And every now we breathe in the flavor and smells of incense like this evening. So thanks, Father Bennett Abraham and Mr. Varghese, for being supportive of our cause. I know we come from an NGO background, and sometimes it's irritating that we spend long hours here in the office, but we really thank you for your understanding and your support. Next, please. Thanks to all the donors, international and international, national and international, for being with us and believing that every cent you send to us counts and will be well utilized. Next, please. We were able to get about 16 million rupees in rupees, and next, please, and 19 million in kind. And the good news is that almost 99% of all these donations, and more actually, has gone directly into relief material and work. And less than 1% was actually used on staff admin. And lastly, it was because some of the staff were on the ground dealing with continuous work and had given up the comforts of their homes to be with it. But most of it has been spent on children and rations and relief work. Next, please. But before I go to this major slide at the end, it's really the backbone of my life and therefore the backbone of Pratik. And I'm sure all these young people who were with us singing would recognize the symbol of Pratik, which actually is borrowed from the logo of the Christian Brothers and the improvised logos of the Brothers Forever group. But before I do that, I would like all of you listening in to support Pratik, because we have actually reached out with millions of rupees to people even at a time when we've not really received any funding for any projects of our work for the last 3 or 4 months. And yet, as a sign of faith and a sign of the footsteps of Brother Edmund Rice, who informed us and assured us that providence is our inheritance, we went ahead and asked all our staff to focus only on COVID, despite the financial crisis that we are experiencing. But like Edmund Rice, we believe that this will also pass and our coffers will be full. However, we need your help in looking out for CSR funding and other opportunities of philanthropists and donors who can support our cause. So do help us as grassroots and brand ambassadors. So this is the slide I want to come to and thank the brothers who have instilled in me the spirit of Edmund Rice and do support me and Pratik into our steps into the future. Thank you, the Brothers Forever group, for culminating the entire evening. It's been a long wait, but thank you for hanging on there with your Sabbath prayer. That's a blessing for all those who are less privileged and really borne the brunt of COVID. I remember you had actually put this song together in the last episode of COVID, but thank you for singing it for us live today. Even though you were muted, I believe your message has gone across to many. Lastly, next please. I thank a group that has really, really been my powerhouse over the last few months and years, actually for the last 34 years. Thank you to my 3G, that's Jared, Grace, and Gloria. You have been my network, you have been my connection with the spirit and with the universe. And thank you for supplying me with this bandwidth to connect up with the universe. But thanks also to Aubrey, Brother Edwin, and Brother David, who faithfully every Saturday come and join me in a circle of faith, helping us make Pratik not just another NGO, but an exercise of spirit and an experience of mysticism on the margin. Thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Hope you had a wonderful evening. I know it was tiring, but we had to use this as an occasion to thank everybody who made this possible. Have a nice evening. Thank you very much. Yeah. So if anyone wants to just have an informal word with anybody here, you're welcome to raise your hand or even unmute your mic and speak. Thanks, Marcelo and Charles. I see you around with your mics, with your videos on. Thanks, Louis, Roshan, Charles, Tino for being here with us right from Geneva.